This episode, we're here to give you a major life update for what's been going on with us since we listed our house for sale, because we're in the process of transitioning from selling our house and moving into an RV full time, and we're really excited about it.
People have probably been wondering, like, have you got the RV yet?
Happening?
What's happening?
What
What's
are you
going on,
doing?
right? Yeah.
You guys see us doing our vlog videos, which have been super fun. We went to the St. Jacobs Market and we did a paddleboarding vlog. And we're actually on our way to go out to do some more paddleboarding today because we're taking advantage of all the nice weather and the weekends when they're nice. And you're gonna wanna stick around until the end of the video because we have some really important advice to share with anybody who is considering selling their house and buying an RV full time, because we've been learning a lot through this waiting process.
Yeah, we sure have. So stick around and we'll share kind of how we've been navigating these uncharted waters and give you some tangible stuff that you can apply for yourself.
Yeah.
Guys, so if you're new to our channel, my name's Chad, it's my beautiful wife Rebecca, and we are in the process of becoming full-time RV livers. Livers?
So
is that a word?
Full-time RV.
Do you like eating liver? We're gonna
RVers.
RVers. There we go.
That's what they call
That's
them.
it. So anyway, we listed our house for sale. It's been a little over 3 months ago now.
Yeah.
And you know, this is something we did not anticipate taking so long. And to be honest, it's been kind of frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody thinks when they list their house for sale that it's going to sell instantly. And that is the case sometimes, but not always, because there's so many different things that contribute to that happening. The market of the real estate in your specific area is one. The size and the type of house that you have. We have a very unique house. It's a very big house. Yeah. So it's at the higher end of the price point, and we are also in a small town. So the market of buyers is small. So and in the market right now in Canada and southwestern Ontario is a very slow buyer's market.
It's been really slow.
So it's been a very slow market all around, not just for our house.
Not just ours. Yeah. So
yeah.
Like Rebecca was saying, we live in a small town and we have a big house. So we kind of got that going against us.
And
right
it's very unique. It's not
yeah.
like a cookie cutter that the typical family just wants a plain, boring house. Our house is super unique. It has an indoor pool and it is beautiful. It's such a dream property. It was our dream property for a long time, but it's understandable that it's not for everybody.
Exactly. So, you know, the thing about the market that we're in right now is that we have, our house is basically twice the amount of the average price point is what it's listed for. So the average price point is only half of what you would see out there. And even houses that are listed for the average price point, they're not even selling. So It is a complete buyer's market. There's tons of inventory there. And what we want to talk about in this video is that
well, first of all, let's just share what our update is for these people. Like, we don't want to keep you guys waiting, but you do want to still stick around to the end of the video because we have a really big advice for you guys at the end of this if you're considering this lifestyle. So, Chad, what is our big major life update?
What's the big update?
What is it?
I don't know.
Do you know? Do you guys know?
You can go ahead.
The update is that we actually have no update because we're still waiting. So that is our update. Our update is we have no update, which is which we wish we had.
Which is an update in itself.
Which is an update because we the whole point of us starting this YouTube channel before we even get our RV is so that you guys can like go through this journey with us at the same time as we are. Because it's not always relatable or fun when you are thinking about this journey and you can't find anybody who is in the struggle of it and in the process of it. They're usually at the fun part of having their RV and living in their RV, and so it's not as relatable when you're thinking about it or trying to go through the process of selling your house.
Exactly. And so if you think about, you know, social media and kind of the highlight reel of people's lives and everything is all cupcakes and roses and there's no struggle. I mean, we really wanted to bring you guys along this journey well before we became full-time RV livers.
Full-time RVers.
RVers. I'll get it right, right? It's going to say it more often. But yeah, so the whole thing is that we wanted to take people on this journey because I'm sure if you're watching this, if you're thinking about living in an RV full-time, you're not quite there yet. You want to know the steps, the things you got to take. I know that was huge for us.
Yeah.
Before we even decided to make this change in our life, we were watching all the YouTube videos, all the things, and everybody on there was already in their RV. So yeah, it was cool. They would talk about kind of how it used to be as they were transitioning and all this, but there was nobody out there that was actually in the process before.
Yeah.
And so we were like, this would be really cool, because many times people will start thinking about this lifestyle, maybe next year when the kids go away to college, or when something works out different with the job that I got going on, or my family member is in a different position and we can align it that way. So people start this process well before it actually happens, and we wanted to take you along for the ride. And so basically, when it comes to where we're at, like when we listed the house for sale, we went all in with all kinds of things. We basically, for like a month straight, we're like purging things, we were getting rid of things, we were like fixing up things with our home, we were doing like everything under the sun to get it listed as soon as possible.
It was so busy and chaotic for like a month and a half. We were like hustle, because the decluttering process is also helpful for when you list your house for sale. Obviously, you have to do it when you're moving into an RV, but like before you list your house for sale, you want to get all the clutter out of there. You want to set it up like looking really pretty and really good. So we did so much stuff in such a short period of time. So we were like, go, busy for a month and a half straight.
Yep.
And then we listed it for sale, and we're so excited, and we're like, yeah, it's a beautiful house. It's probably going to sell really quickly. And it hasn't.
That hasn't happened.
So, and it's a huge part of that is due to the market conditions right now. So that's something that you're going to need to consider if you're considering this lifestyle, is that there's a lot of different factors that come into play, like interest rates, whatever the conditions are in the market, whatever type of house you're trying to sell. There's so many external factors that you're not in control of when you list your house for sale. That's really important to recognize that, because we did not recognize that.
Exactly. And so one of my favorite sayings that I've loved applying in my life is commit to something first and then figure it out later. Mm-hmm. So many times people will try to line up all the different areas of their lives. Maybe they'll organize things, plan things, get everything as perfect, which we all know isn't realistic, as possible. And then what happens is they don't actually take any action, and they usually will just give up before anything is done. And so
they get stuck in that analysis paralysis. Remember that video where we were joking we couldn't pronounce that properly? Yeah. It was, they get stuck in this where they keep analyzing, keep thinking about it, but they don't actually take the action and the steps to do it. And
And so if there's anything that's such a great example of it, it's this. So if you're watching this video, you're thinking about going full time, and you're like, oh, maybe next year, next spring, maybe. It's like, if you wait until then, it's like maybe you something comes up and you have a health issue, maybe something with your family, maybe the house takes 6 to 12 months to sell, maybe, like, there's so many factors at play that will inherently extend that potentially even further. Whereas if you commit today, even though you're not prepared, and I know it's not easy, even though you're not organized for whatever you think is like the ideal scenario, by getting that ball rolling, you get the momentum happening, and then you also kind of become really resilient at going through the emotional challenges, which is something that we've had to navigate.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think, like, if you are inclined, you have any interest in pursuing this lifestyle, our advice would be to just start taking action steps towards it. Like, if you have a house to sell, list your house for sale, like right now, like get it ready for like a month, take a month, get it all ready, paint it, whatever, and then list it. Don't think like, oh, I'm gonna wait until a certain point to list it, because it could take 6 or 12 months to actually sell, depending on different external circumstances. And if it doesn't, the thing that you can consider too that actually made me feel better when we listed it for sale was that I'm in control of what offers I say yes to and what I say no to. So even if you do list it for sale, and let's say you do get a bunch of offers in the beginning and maybe they're not what you want, or maybe you don't feel ready at that point, when the offers start coming in, you can just decline them. You can just say no. You could take it off the market. You could be like, oh, that happened too fast, I'm not ready for that. But I mean, it's better just to take that step and kind of see where you're at and how things align for you. And if it doesn't sell right away and you have lots of time, then you have more time to think about it, get rid of things. Like, there's so many things that we've been doing that have been helpful. even though we did really want our house to sell like instantly.
Exactly. And so if we flash back to when we listed it 3 months ago, I mean, we were all hands on deck for about a month, month and a half, getting it all ready. We listed it, and then we're like, all right, where's the offers? Where's the showings? Right? And we had several showings in the beginning and what have you, but it hasn't happened in the timeline that we wanted it to. And how often is that with life, right? We want things yesterday. We're so impatient. We live in a world where everything is like instant gratification. And I feel like this has been a really cool lesson and journey for us emotionally to kind of just go through this, to realize like we're starting like a major new lifestyle, and honestly this is probably gonna be the last time we'll be living in our like dream home. So I mean, we should just enjoy it. And so what happened is the first couple weeks once the house was listed, we were super antsy about it. We really didn't do anything. We're kind of like sitting there just like waiting for it to sell. We're waiting.
This is some really good advice for you guys if you're listing your house for sale, is that when you list your house for sale and you don't know what's going to happen, we were like putting off all our plans. We were keeping our house like super staged, super clean at all times. It is not livable. It is not feasible to live in conditions that are so perfect all the time. It is actually very stressful.
Don't have your friends and family over because you don't want them like fluffing up those throw pillows in the arrangement that you don't want.
Exactly. Right? Don't like plan barbecues. Don't plan having people over. Don't plan anything. Don't go away on vacation because what if you get a showing request or whatever? Like, do not put your life on hold when your house is for sale. You can work around the showings. Obviously it's best to accommodate them as best as you can, but don't sacrifice your well-being and put your life on hold because your house is for sale. Exactly. And that's something that we did for the first few weeks until we realized that this was making us so freaking miserable.
And it's funny,
I was like, no, I can't live like that.
No, and we realized, we're like, hold on, this is crazy to be living like that. So, we're from Ontario, Canada, and we basically have like 3 months only of the year where it's actually warm, like June, July, and August, and like that's it. And then it's like cold.
September's
again.
A little dicey.
So the thing is, like, June was, and we're sitting around. It's like,
our favorite time of year because we love to be outside, and that's why we're pursuing the RV lifestyle. And we were not going. We're not doing anything.
We're doing this in the first place, so we get the hell out of Canada in the heart of winter and actually be warm year round. Because as Canadians,
you want to be outside all the time.
As opposed to Americans, you guys can just live in any southern state. A southern state of Canada is still a northern, or a southern province is still the north of the U.S.
Well, we are actually in the most southern part, aren't we?
Exactly, but southern Canada is not warm.
It's not warm
so,
at all. No.
So the point that we're trying to make is that, we were going to allow, and how often does this happen, right? In life, you allow whatever you're kind of wanting to manipulate, and then all of a sudden months go by and you're like, oh my God, I never stopped to smell the roses. I didn't stop to actually enjoy the present moment and live life how I want to live. And so once we realized that, we're like, listen, the whole point why we're trying to do this is to get to warm climates so that we can be outdoors, be and doing adventurous things, living our best life. And so we just decided, you know what? We're just the house will sell when it's meant to sell. It's out of our control, but what is within our control is to absolutely go out there, have fun, do the things that we love doing. For us, it's hiking, going on walks. For me, I'm a big runner, running whenever I can, paddleboarding,
which is what we're about to
go
and
do now.
Today.
And we've been lucky that every weekend, we're not working, has been beautiful weather. Nice, warm. So we've been on the lake the whole time, right? It's been incredible. And so now
but imagine if we just kept that mentality of like, no, we have to just sit around waiting for showings, keeping our house very prim and proper, like just not like putting our whole life on hold. You just get so miserable and so annoyed. And it's just so funny because you have no control over external circumstances of anything in life, not just this situation, but like, there's other things where this can happen as well. When you're waiting on a major change to take place, all you have to keep in mind is you take the steps towards that direction and just let the universe figure the rest of the shit out. Like that's what you have to do. That's what we learned in the waiting process. Is to, we took the initiative to list our house for sale, get it ready for sale. It's for sale right now. And other than just being prepared for showings like the best that we can, and getting, if we're away, for example, and somebody wants to book a showing, we just be like, oh, we're not available, but we're available this time. If somebody's really that interested in your house, they're gonna work around like your schedule. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's really important to recognize that and to just start living your life. We decided that we were going to start living as if we were in the RV today. And I think that's a major thing. We've done podcast episodes on this where you have to start living as if you, like, as the future version of yourself would live today in the moment that you have now. You need to take small steps towards that. So we decided we're going to do everything as similarly as possible to what we envision our RV life to be while we're in the house. So even when we're coming home from our friend's house or whatever, we had a campfire and a barbecue with our friends who were down from visiting us from Texas. And on our way home, we were like, we could be going back to our RV. Like, we were pretending like our house is our RV essentially, and doing all the things we would typically do in an RV. So that's kind of the consensus that we came up to, and it's really, really been helping.
Exactly.
I don't pretend that our house is not even for sale. I don't even think about it anymore.
Exactly. It's going to sell and it's going to sell. And so, when we think about what we'll do when we're living in an RV full time, I mean, it's going to be, we sleep in the RV, but we, throughout the day, we're going to go out and go on adventures and go hiking and paddle. It's no different literally than what we're doing now. Now, obviously in the winter, in the winter in Canada, it's kind of hard to pretend like you're in an RV because like you got to be like, hunker down because it's freezing. But so that's what Rebecca's saying, is that we realize that we have to just pretend like we're in the RV now, because that's what it's all about. It's like when people say, hey, I want, to be a millionaire. It's like, here's $1 million. Now what? You're like, oh yeah, okay, well, now I don't really, it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about what would that $1 million actually do? What will that RV lifestyle actually do? And so if you're, watching our channel and other channels, the reason why you're probably gravitated to this lifestyle is so that you can, live your life to the fullest, I assume, right? Have those adventures and see new places, do new things. We've been driving all around and checking out incredible lakes, going on all different kinds of excursions and around where we are. That's fun. That's exciting. That's no different than what we're going to do when we're actually living that lifestyle as well.
Exactly. And so think about all the things, like, even if it's not RV life, even if it's, downsizing and moving into a condo or whatever, anything that allows you to have more free time and flexibility with your life. But just envision what you think that life is going to allow you to do and start doing those things today. Like, I'll give you another example of how I applied this. There's actually a really good book called Be Your Future Self Now, or I'll put it in here. I forget what it's called, but it's so good. And it can be applied to any area of your life, whether you're in a career that you hate and you want to change it, any major change. But for me, I really recognized this when I was embarking on my health and my wellness journey, and I was 270 pounds. I was 70 pounds heavier than I am now. And I had to start becoming a healthy version of myself, even though I looked really unhealthy, and I was unhealthy. I felt like shit. I had no energy. I was fatigued. I had a lot of digestive issues. And so when I was 270 pounds, I had to pretend and start being that healthier version of myself. And it felt a little fake and weird at first, because I was like, well, I'm not athletic, I'm really overweight. So it's kind of, you just don't feel that part. But in order to become that part, you have to start feeling the part first. It's like this backwards thing that our society has tricked us into believing, is that you have to be something in order to feel something, but you really have to feel it first and then become it. That's how you become it, right? So when I was embarking on my health and wellness journey, I started drinking protein shakes. I started, doing at-home workouts. I started eating healthier meals, even though that was not typical of what I had been doing, obviously, to lead me to this unhealthy state of being, right? It was totally different and totally opposite. But I had to start living and being that person. So what I did is I started following a lot of health and wellness influencers on Instagram and Facebook, and I just filled my feed up with all of these people who lived this way, because it was very different than how I lived. And I loved it because I was like, oh, that's interesting that they actually live their life and they go to the gym every day and they eat healthy food all throughout their day. Like, that was freaking foreign to me, but it was so helpful for me to see how those people actually lived. So same thing with RV life. You know, you watch all these channels like, you know, the Hanks or, you know, any of our favorite channels.
Like There's No Tomorrow.
Like There's No Tomorrow. And you go and you watch these channels and you see what their actual daily life is like. You can implement things into your daily life as you're living in your home right now in order to attract and manifest that to come into your life. It's so important to start living that way today. Otherwise, you'll just drive yourself absolutely insane like we did in the beginning of this whole process.
Exactly. And, you know, if you're thinking about doing this kind of lifestyle, you're probably similar to us where you think like you're just sick of societal blueprints.
Yeah.
You know, you don't like how things kind of play out and they're very predictable and there's no excitement, no adventure. And the thing is too, like, so on the flip side of what Rebecca's saying, we want this instant gratification a lot of times, which is the wrong approach. It's like, okay, if I get that new iPhone, well, then at that point, once I actually have it in my hand, then I'll feel better, and then I'll start acting like I'm successful or whatever, right? But the problem with that is it's backwards. Whereas what Rebecca says is like, you want to exemplify the behaviors and that future version of yourself now, so that when those future things actually come to happen, you'll be like, oh, I already like feel and act like this anyway, so it's not really that much of a difference, because that's the only thing that's within your control. We can't control when our house is going to sell. We can't control all of these things in our world, but we can absolutely control what we do to have fun and enjoy life while it is, because that's why we're here.
And if you try to, you will drive yourself
Yeah,
absolutely
nuts.
freaking nuts by doing
Yeah.
so. And I know that everybody can relate to that, because if you think about a time in your life where you had literally no control over what happened, but you're so pissed off because you couldn't control the situation. Like, there's so many situations, right? Like with people, family, friends, careers, jobs, everything. Think of a situation in your life where you just desperately wanted to control it and you had no control and it did not go the way that you wanted it to go.
Never does.
How pissed off were you? And how long were you pissed off for? Like, it literally sucks the joy and the life out of you. And so what's the alternative to that? And this is the advice that we wanted to talk about. We mentioned in the beginning of our video, stick around to the end. This is it, because it's so important to start to live as if you are that version of yourself now, so that you can actually become. That's the only way to become something. Yeah. If we think about, I like to use the term of professional athletes, because it's such a great example. They didn't just wake up. Michael Jordan didn't just wake up and become a professional basketball player. He had to practice and pretend and embody that every single day through tons of effort and practice, thinking that he was going to become this one day, but he would have never became that without starting to live that way today. So I love that example, even though I'm not athletic at all, but like it makes sense to me, because it takes so much time and dedication. And doesn't anything that's worth doing take that much time and dedication to become something? It's so important to not let yourself be so affected by external circumstances that you have no control over. You'll drive yourself nuts.
Yeah, you just put yourself on an emotional roller coaster, and you owe it to yourself just to live in the moment and actually enjoy life for what it is. So
what you can do is start to think about, what are you in control of? What is within your control? And so for us, our house is for sale, no control over anything else.
We've done that.
But what are we in control of? We're in control of how we live every single day, how often we go outside and we get sunlight, how often we go paddleboarding, how often we go hiking, how often we're outside. Like, we're in control of our every single day life routine.
Of the life we want to live.
Yeah. And so the more you craft that into something that you actually want, and the more you think about what that's going to look like when you're in the RV lifestyle and you start to integrate that into your life right now, you'll be so much happier, and you won't even know that your house is for sale. You'll be like, oh yeah, there's a for sale sign out there. It'll just sell whenever it's going to sell. I'm still living my best life. I'm pretending like I live in an RV right now and having so much fun doing it. And actually, we're not just saying this to be like positive and annoying, because it is annoying when people just blast positivity at you, but it's legit, and it's the only way you can actually live without driving yourself insane when you're in a waiting period of anything in your life, whether it's waiting for that dream career, waiting for, maybe a spouse, maybe you're single and you're waiting for your dream person to come along. Like, that waiting period can either be a time of growth, development, and fulfillment, or it can be absolute misery, and it's up to you to decide what it's going to be.
That's right. So patience is the hardest thing. I mean, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, patience is so difficult. And like Rebecca was saying, emotionally, this stuff will just drag you under the bus. And so really learning patience throughout this process has been incredible for me. And I realized, you know what, I can actually be happy and enjoy my life now. I don't necessarily need to be in that future version today. And when that comes, great. And how often that comes, I don't know. It's out of my control. And that's what we've been doing, right? So,
yeah, because you were very impatient for a long time, but you've worked on that so much. And the interesting thing about this process is that I am very patient. I'm a very patient person. Not with stupid people. I kind of have a little bit of impatience towards that.
That's a different video.
That's a different video for a different time. I actually read this really good book called Surrounded by Idiots. It just happened to pop up in my Facebook feed one day, and I was like, this is a sign from the universe if I've ever seen one.
It knew what she needed.
It knew what I needed, and actually it really did help me so much. And the title sounds a little bit harsh, but it actually is very, very... it's about being very compassionate about different types of people, and it is like a lifesaver. So I highly recommend it. But the interesting thing was that I have very good amount of patience generally for most things. And this process I was not able to be patient about this in the beginning, did I? I was very annoyed, and I was like, I just want to be in the RV, and I was watching.
I was more patient than she was.
I was watching.
For the first time.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this is so weird, the psychology of this thing happening, because we were watching our favorite YouTubers, out in their RVs, and then it was showing me what I wanted but didn't have yet. So I was like getting so annoyed by it. But that is just part of being human, and it's so important to recognize that, you're gonna get there at some point. So don't watch things that are triggering to you. You have to really work on your mindset and your emotional your emotional growth journey throughout it, which this process will teach you indirectly anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just want to kind of sum it up here by saying, it's not easy. I mean, obviously we're talking in a way of what we've adapted to over the last few months, but I mean, the first month that it was for sale, we were pretty pissed off,
so annoyed.
Pretty miserable, honestly, because we thought it's like anything in life. If you have a perception or an expectation,
when you want something
of how things will or should play out based on what you're anticipating, and it doesn't, it sucks, right? And so I think there's been so much grace and patience that's been learned, at least for myself, where I realize the more that I can get better at understanding when I want something or think I need something. And it's kind of ironic, because part of why we were looking to do this lifestyle is to be hey, we don't actually need things. We don't need these material items. We don't need to be in this kind of societal blueprint, like I was saying earlier. And so I feel like we were kind of being tested where the universe is hey, if you say you don't need this, then why do you need to be in an RV yesterday?
Exactly.
Why do you need your house to sell right away? You should be able to be happy and live your best life and do what you want to do today, regardless of when your house sells and when you get the RV. So I feel like that was kind of the silver lining in the lesson in all this. But on a side note, send positive vibes, and let's hope that it sells, and we give you an update video of it actually selling.
A real update video.
Like I said earlier in previous videos, we're in Canada and it gets cold, usually October, November. So please, universe, I've learned my lesson of being patient, and I just don't want to be stuck here in the snow for another winter. So anyway,
but
send
positive thing, the one really, really, really big thing in all seriousness that I've learned in this waiting period, what has actually taught me the most, is that this is the lifestyle that I actually want. So in that waiting period, it's it really, it actually reaffirms it significantly, because I'll tell you something, if our house were to have sold within the first week that we listed it, and we didn't have this time to really solidify and reflect and, just feel the knowing that this is the right route for us, maybe I would have regretted it. Maybe I would have questioned it, because I didn't have that time, that incubator time of no, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. The reaffirmation of it. has been really eye-opening to me, and I keep reflecting on that. And if our house sold right away, just may have not felt super ready
maybe
to
it
let
wasn't
go.
the right time. Yeah, maybe we haven't. There's some
Maybe
other
it
things we
just-
still needed to figure out.
It would have
like,
just felt like maybe
a bit rushed.
because it's such a huge thing,
Yeah.
right? So I think that the time that it's taking is actually allowing us the space to reaffirm that this is actually what we want, because the longer we wait, the more I know that it's actually what we want.
Yeah, because I mean, there are times in life where decisions are made and they happen quickly, and then
So
you're kind of in it,
fast.
and you're like, oh, you know, I don't know if this is really what I
Yeah.
want. Maybe you take a job, you're like,
Yeah.
it sounded good.
You're
and
not sure.
Or you get involved in a relationship where it
Yeah.
seemed good on paper, and they're like, I kind of like jumped the gun on it. And so, you know, yeah, these are the things that we absolutely understanding now that, you know, as we've been sitting in reflection and patience and all this, it's like, no, it definitely is, because none of that has changed. Like usually when you go through a major change in life,
stronger,
yeah, it's
is
getting
what I'm
stronger,
saying.
and
our
you're not
desire,
having those second guessing.
yeah,
you're
our
not
desire
resistance.
for RV
Yeah.
life is only getting stronger,
Yeah.
as opposed to, imagine we were in this waiting period and we're like, our desire for it was fading, and we were like, I don't think like,
Yeah, like we're around our house and we're
no.
like, oh, I really like this
Yeah.
and that and what, you know, I mean, and we're not doing it in a negative way, but yeah, it's like there's things where yeah, it aligns, and it doesn't just align with the physical place where we lay our head at night.
Yeah.
It aligns with just everything that kind of that freedom of not being stuck in these confines of certain situations, and even the people, like all the, you know, we watch the channels, all the people, what they're doing, and
Yeah.
just even the mindset. Like I said,
They have
it's not,
such a similar mindset to
yeah,
what
this
we
is
are like,
huge.
but
Yeah.
like a lot of people within our typical society in our neighborhood and everything, they're like, you guys are freaking nuts, like you're crazy for doing this.
Yeah.
Or they're just like, oh, I wish I could do that, and I hope when I retire I will. Like they're stuck in that mindset.
So, I mean, they're
still.
stuck waiting for retirement, waiting for someday. They're
yeah.
hustle grind. They're doing,
So it's very hard to keep those connections
connection with that. We
alive
don't
when
relate.
you have
We don't
such a
relate.
different mindset and perspectives like that, and that part is really hard.
Yeah. So anyway, stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed this update video.
Yeah.
We're gonna take you on some adventures this summer and what we got going on, and yeah, pray for us. Cross your fingers that we get out of Canada before the next blizzard. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Chat soon. Bye. My point is that I forget what I was even talking about.
I don't know. I can't read your mind. Patience.
Oh, patience. That's right.